All right, here's a couple. All right, I was really compelled to talk about Lena Dunham tonight. I can sum it up. Just leave her alone. Fuck you. If you're like trying to burn her at the stake. Okay, moving on. You can Google that. Our friend Linehan was here last week, and I noticed him tweeting about something about Ms. Dunham, and then I went down a rabbit hole googling what's he talking about. She's undergoing what I would describe as a Salem level of like witch hunt, and I guess that's a hot topic, and I don't imagine we have a lot of people in the audience going like, oh no, you don't have all the facts. I want to really be. I think it's more of a right wing, left wing thing, which I also don't give a fuck about. But it's like sometimes there are moments in this culture, in our new hashtaggy social justice like awareness of each other, and everything's evolving. There are moments when there are things that you could do that are brave, and there are things that you can do that are not brave. And you don't always have to do brave things, but I would urge people to
knock over the bread aisle.
To run everything that you're about to do or say through a little one-item checklist, which is this, do I risk anything by saying this or doing this? Because if you don't, then it's not brave. What, are you making a gesture at me, or are you rubbing your face? Okay. It's like, no, wait. The new president just got elected. He's a misogynist. You gotta cut it. Cut the segment. Just Google it. I think it's I think what is happening to her is fascinating. She is a creative. She shares things. She expresses things. She explores things. There are people who don't like young women with power. I'm not trying to get jump on a bandwagon. I think it's actually, there are times when it's actually difficult to be a feminist. There are times when it's difficult to be progressive, and I think that she is being ganged up on right now. It took me a very long time to get to the bottom of what was going on. There was a lot of shit on the surface that threatens to suffocate like what is actually what the deal is. I urge you to Google it and explore it, because I think it's edifying. I think it's very interesting. And I won't bother with any more time with that, because there's probably a million podcasts that talk about it, and you can do your own exploring. But I ultimately, it's like, what do we do? I just want to know, what is it? Why is it that when these things come up, what is it in us? What is it in our national psyche where when we hear about, for instance, the topic of sexual assault or rape, what muscle is it in us that flexes where we have to figure out if it's right or wrong or provable or all these things? Like, what are we doing? It's a question that needs to be asked. It doesn't have to come down to some battlefield where you're for or against anything. What is important, as is whether these like all of these the last week when we were talking about police brutality and all these things. The questions that we emerge with are the important things to ask. What is the role of police? And I think what is the point when somebody talks about sexual assault, talks about rape, whether they're joking about it, whether they're exploring it in a memoir, whether they're I don't know. There's probably 8 other ways you could dance around that hot fire. What is there a responsibility? Are we policing it? What is our role? Why is it that we respond in certain ways to certain people? Just let's ask ourselves that. I spent the day going down a rabbit hole. And it's like, as our friend Graham said in his tweet, I think that if you can judge people by who their enemies are, I think, Lena Dunham is, well, I can't remember how he put it. She's Christ. I don't know. That's not what he said. But she's being ganged up on, and it's pretty fucked up.